Hello friends and welcome. I've got something wild for you today to try out in this new patch, and that is Clinkz support. Wait, please, don't report me yet. Hear me out, please. Listen, give me a chance here. The rework, I think, actually made him kind of viable. Think of it as Enchantress in the laning stage with very powerful right clicks and a slow for aggressive play, or if you have a weak laner, you're just getting them through by harassing a ton and giving them a decent lane. Then you are like a Riki who just scouts out the kills, finds the people, the skeletons you leave behind are great vision. You don't have as much lockdown with the sleeping dart and all that, but you don't have a weak period like Riki did prior to 15 minutes and the shard. You scale much better, you provide more damage, and you scale into that damage a lot better than Riki did. And then once you find these kills, or the enemy's avoiding you and you've just been split pushing, you provide a lot of tower pressure like a Shadow Shaman or Jakiro. So we have all these things mixed into this one hero, and it's honestly felt pretty good. I've played it 6 times, I am 5-1. It's not my idea. I do want to give credit to CML or Mavis. Several people sent it to me that he had been trying some Clinkz support in his pubs, and I'm a man of science. I hopped on that immediately, and it's pretty good. It's a ton of fun, and I think it really works well in the chaos of this current patch. I don't know how legit it will be going forward, but think about your pubs, guys. People are all over the place doing whatever. Clinkz thrives in that kind of environment. So I think it's a lot of fun. Let me show you some examples of how this works. In the laning stage, you're going to play like Enchantress, where you just harass a lot with your right clicks, enabled by Tar Bomb, which is his new ability. And you pretty much cast it on someone. It will do a little bit of magic damage. It will slow them, and every time you attack them, you will get bonus damage as long as they are in the little Tar Bomb effect, and for 2.5 seconds after they step out of it or it fades away. So you can see here, you don't really directly engage. You just constantly poke and whittle them down. And eventually they get low enough that you can maybe get kills because, everyone thinks you're griefing your own team, the enemy team. They're not taking it seriously, and then they step a little too far forward. You slow them down. I buy a blood grenade to combo this effect, especially if your offlaner or your carry, because I've tried it both 4 and 5, have any form of aggressive potential. You don't have a stun, but you can double up the slows with blood grenade and tar bomb. But sometimes you don't even need it. I've gotten kills without the blood grenade just because I eventually whittle them down and they don't expect the tar bomb slow. You kind of see here. Here's an example. I think Monkey King gets away here. Nah, just kidding. He's super dead, right? Level 2, you're going to take Death Pact, which he's kind of had before. It's been reworked a little bit here and there. But Death Pact allows you to instantly eat a creep. Level 4 or lower, which if you don't know, you can click a creep and see its level down here in the bottom left. So level 4 gives you access to pretty much all the small camp, the lane creeps, and then some of the creeps in the medium and hard camps. As you level it up, by level 5, which is the second level in Death Pact, you can eat pretty much any creep except this one right here, the Satyr Tormentor, and then the Troll Summoner, the green one, with the 2 little trolls next to him. This will give you a burst of health and a heal. So it's going to increase my max health by 175 at level 1, 250 onwards, 325, 400, right? This is pretty good in the laning stage because you're an agility hero, you don't have a ton of health, but when you use Death Pact, which has permanent uptime because it lasts 45 seconds and the recharge time is 40 seconds, you just get a lot of extra health to fight with, or you save it for the middle of a fight. They think they're about to kill you, and then you eat something nearby, a creep, you can eat your own skeletons, and you get that 175 heal, which can surprise them. You also spawn a skeleton, so this has a lot of utility. In the laning stage, when you get into a fight, you can eat a creep, you get that health, you also get a skeleton. And whenever you tar bomb someone, that skeleton is going to prioritize attacking that hero, and they also get the bonus damage. So it's a lot of damage in these early game fights. Or you can disrupt pulls. This is not a good example because technically I'm doing the pull, I guess, because I've got creeps here. But the enemy comes to do a pull, you walk up, Death Pact is actually a pretty decent range. You just eat one of the creeps and the camp will aggro to your skeleton and you'll disrupt the pull. Or the pull happens, you still eat one of the creeps, you're weakening the camp so they can't deny as many creeps from you. You're getting some vision from the skeleton, and then you can fight over the camp with your skeleton, your tar bomb. You can kind of poke at the enemy heroes doing this stuff. Honestly, that's kind of going to be your laning stage. There's not much more to talk about. You just keep throwing tar bombs and slowing people. And I have been buying cheap items to get that extra right click, iron branches, stick if it makes sense, because your spells are pretty cheap and low cooldown. So I think if this catches on, people are going to buy sticks against you because you're spamming tar bomb, which is going to give them more mana to cast more spells. but you only need a few charges from your spells or their spells to get enough mana to use your stuff. Now here, if these camps are blocked or used or whatever, this is something nice you can do with Clinkz, as you have at least 1 point in Death Pact, but even better as you get more. I want to give my carry solo XP, but that means I'm not getting any XP, and that feels bad. But you can just instantly kill creeps to get a boost in XP. Now, this is not the best example. I'm just getting a little wolf boy here, or a giant wolf, I guess. But once you have level 2 Death Pact, you can eat the hard camp creeps, which gives you a nice burst of gold and XP for this early game, and that's going to be your farming tool, or one of your farming tools, throughout the game. You can just instantly eat creeps as you're running around, and that's going to keep you leveled up, whereas other supports are going to have to spend more time sitting in lanes or actually farming jungle camps and taking damage for it. As an example, you can do things like this. I just farmed a hard camp in a second. Very useful, and then the rest of the time I'm running around fighting, and the recharge time is going on this Death Pact because now it has 2 charges, so in about 80 seconds I can come do this again. Or usually I would say just do like 1 at a time so you can get the bonus health like consistently, but this time I'm just trying to like speed my way up to 6 because we've been, in this particular game, I was starting to have a little bit of issues after the laning stage because we have no lockdown. Surprise, Clinkz doesn't provide any control, and they had a lot of mobile heroes, so we were losing some fights. Once you have your level 6, this is your old skeleton walk. Modified, I guess. It allows you to go invis, gives you a burst of speed, and it will spawn 2 skeletons when you pop out of invis. This, combined with the skeleton that pops out when you eat a creep with Death Pact, gives you up to 2 to 3 skeletons for these kind of ganks. In this case, it's right by my own tower, but other times you can go find heroes who are farming, getting low. You can sneakily find the like smoke gank target. You can join fights that they don't expect you to be at, and then once you tar bomb, your creeps or your skeletons prioritize that target. Eventually, you'll take a point in strafe at level 7 to then get a burst of attack speed. I don't have it here, but it gives you 100 attack speed or more, and then your skeletons in the area get 50% of that. The skeletons have to already exist. You can't use it and then create the skeletons. This will give you a surprising amount of damage as support Clinkz, even without a lot of items. You can see here, I really don't have much in the terms of damage, but Slark here at 50% health, he's going to do a mix of, sure, the tower's hitting him too, but I'm hitting him as well, and we do a surprising amount of damage. We're going to pick up kills like this. Because you're super fast, you can do things like come steal their XP runes, which I should have been a lot more on time about. Forgive me, I'm still getting used to the new patch and getting over the excitement of playing Clinkz support. But you're super fast. You'll notice I have 500 move speed here with just boots, windlace, and then this massive 30% bonus move speed from your ultimate. It means even when they dust you, you're actually still almost as fast as a regular hero, depending how fast they are. So sometimes they dust you and you still just walk away. Now, besides stealing XP runes, you'll do things like this where you'll come to gank. Now, if they have some kind of mobility or escape like Dark Willow does, I actually can't really like kill her. But you'll notice with the medallion, 1 tar bomb, a couple of auto attacks, I didn't even really strafe here. We've already got her down to half health, and she is going to get away. It's actually not that big of a deal. You'll notice my cooldowns pretty much back up. So the cool thing with Clinkz is that you can just come and force these kind of fights, make them get a little low, make them use their escapes, and you're like, whatever, I'll just do it again. Oh, I guess I also have a Faded Brooch, I forgot. So a little extra movement speed besides just these 2. But because you're so fast and your cooldowns are so low, I didn't get the Dark Willow kill. Oh well, I'm just going to pop it again and start looking for someone else. Here's another fighting example. I was doing pretty well in this game. So you can see, even though I'm behind enemy lines, I'm tanking creeps, I'm fighting here. I can eat these skeletons for these burst heals. I can kite while my skeletons do damage and tar bomb slow them. And then eventually I can just turn and stand my ground and fight. I can reveal the wards I have to get kills. Rip. But we do pick him up. And honestly, I got pretty close to this Void Spirit, but he burst me here at the end. In team fights, you kind of just want to hug the edge of the fight, cast a lot of tar bomb. It's a very long cast range, and let your skeletons do work, and then you just attack as you can as well. I'm making some mistakes here. I don't know. I'm pretty new to this Clinkz support stuff, but that's the way that I think it's the best feeling fights for me over the games I've played. Just kind of hug the edges, do a lot of slows, and find the next target. You're invis, you're fast. As people are trying to escape, you can go catch up to them, slow them for your team to catch up. As I get better at it, I'll put up some gameplay videos if you want, or drop by my streams on Twitch. You'll see me doing it live, or the VODs if you can't make it live. But just to recap, the skill build will look something like this. It may change going forward, but this is kind of the rough game plan I've been trying. with the Tar Bomb level 1 into Death Pact, and then by level 5, you want the 3 points in Death Pact so you can kill any creep in the game besides Ancients. This will just help you out farming, and you get access to that second charge, which has a lot of utility. I don't know, like I said earlier, what the exact order will be, this and that or whatever, but by level 5, something like this. Level 6, take your ult, of course, and now that you have the skeletons from Skeleton Walk, I think Strafe is worth it. Prior to that, it doesn't, it's just you and one skeleton. You don't really have any damage items because you're support, right? I don't see the attack speed being that useful, but now you've probably finished like a medallion, or at least you've got some components like the Blightstone. Now it starts making sense to me to have at least 1 point in Strafe. From here, I don't know. I think you're going to want to max Strafe and Tar Bomb before Death Pact, but which first, I don't know. I'm starting to test it a little bit more, and when I know more, I'll try to share that with you all. I like Tar Bomb because it combos well with this 20 talent to give you 65 extra damage, which works on towers, by the way. I don't know if I remembered to say that, but you win a fight with Tar Bomb, and then you push up to the tower, or maybe they're avoiding you, so you just split push a lane. You take a tower on your own with Tar Bomb, with your skeletons, with Strafe. The order actually matters, so actually skeletons into Tar Bomb into Strafe. There you go. I like the bonus damage. And even if you can't attack, the extra magic damage from the impact along with the slow and the lower cooldown means you pretty much have permanent uptime on Tar Bomb on various targets. So even as you're not attacking, but maybe your skeletons are or your teammates are chasing, I just think there's a lot of value there, and then get the Strafe afterwards. But maybe more points in Strafe first will be good, especially if you're having a good game and you're getting a lot of damage. For the talent, like I said, I like the 20 Tar Bomb talent. I don't think 18 to 15 seconds on Skeleton Walk makes much sense. For 15, I don't know. 75 attack range might be the way to go, especially thinking about the 20 and 25 talents, because your skeletons do get the attack range, and it will allow you to scale better. The Death Pact charge, though, is pretty nice. Once this is maxed out, right, 400 bonus health, you can't get more bonus health, like 1,200 total. You'll only get 400 bonus health total, but you can get up to 12,000 or 1,200 heal when you use 3 charges quickly. So that could be a nice aspect of Death Pact charge if people are wasting time chasing you, this super fast skeleton man who keeps eating things as he goes, and you don't even break invis when you do it, right? You might be buying a lot of time, and that might be good for a support. But I'm here to kill things, so maybe attack range is the way to go. And then along that lines, right, as you're buying damage stuff, like the Strafe attack speed and the cooldown, I think make a lot of sense. The Tar Bomb multi-shot's kind of interesting, but you only fire 1 extra arrow when you attack a Tar Bomb target. Your skeletons will do it too, so maybe that's a ton of damage, maybe that's worth it, but I don't know. It seems like just having a lower cooldown Strafe might be better. Item-wise, get your cheap items for the laning stage. You just want a strong laning presence. If you fall behind, I think that feels pretty bad, so I've been trying to have good lanes every time, and so far it's been pretty successful, so I buy the regen I need. I'm not afraid to buy more, like a Salve, Clarity, stuff like that, maybe even more Tangos if I need to, but the cheap right-click items help out a lot. The fast wand to get the charges, get the value there. Boots, pick it up once you know you're going to move around. If you know you're going to stay in the laning stage, you might pick up the Sage's Mask or the Blightstone from the medallion because they give you more laning stage value. The move speed is only really good once you actually start moving. So if you know you're playing the lane, maybe get some medallion components, but otherwise, the boots, I think the order is not hugely important, but boots and then a Windlace later from 4 Solar Crest, those combo with the percentage increase from your ult. So you do want some movement speed before you have your ult so that you're a super fast skeleton running around the map. From there, Solar Crest is nice. You'll slow the enemy, reduce their armor, so you can do as much damage as possible before they escape from your stationary skeletons, and you can also use it to buff up your team. It's also super value so that your team sees you building support items, and you're not just going Midas damage, Deso, stuff like that, and then they're going to report you right there. But they see you, you're buying the wards, buying the dust, you're getting a medallion, you're he's kind of doing support stuff, I guess. And maybe this Clinkz build thing, it's, maybe there's some value there. So I think this is a good, emotional safety item as well. And then the Solar Crest seems better this patch. Phylactery, this is feeling pretty good. It combos really well with Tar Bomb. It's pretty much up all the time, and then you do a ton of extra damage and slow. Like we said, we want to do as much damage as we can in this small period before they run away from the skeletons, and even if we can't do that, we just keep Tar Bombing for our allies to slow them, or slow the enemy, and the phylactery helps a lot with that. The build up for both of these items feels pretty good. It's a mix of like smaller components and then a bit more expensive components, so you kind of buy the small pieces to feel good, and then as you save up enough money, you win a team fight here and there, you can like finish off these items. I've really been enjoying this, but I think there's some room to adjust it as needed. So I think up to medallion, probably every game I'll probably do that. But the issue with Clinkz is no lockdown, right? And right now, mobile heroes are really popular, and I really do think you want to be able to find heroes and set up kills. So slows are good enough in certain games, especially if your teammates have stuns, but sometimes it's not. You need like actual stuns and silences. So in that case, I think I'll be trying a fast Orchid. I did it once. I went Solar Crest into Orchid. I'm going to try it even faster if I think a game calls for it, like Medallion straight into Orchid. The build-up for Orchid is not as nice, but once you have it, it will actually help you kill people, and they can't escape from the skeletons. They can't just blink away, all that stuff that just completely negates a slow. So I think Orchid might be necessary in certain games. Besides that, like say you get Solar Crest and Phylactery, the Ag spawns more skeletons that will, help you do more damage. If you need a 4-staff for utility stuff, you can also build this into a Hurricane Pike later. So I think 4-staff could be all right. Hex makes your invis initiation even better. You pop out, instantly hex them, right? There's very little you can do about that. So I think that's really good. And then if you want damage, Daedalus and Deso. The skeletons don't get the attack modifiers or bonus damage, but if you get a free shard from the Tormentors, that speeds up your farm to get to these items, and that ability, Burning Barrage, does apply attack modifiers. So you can shred the armor from people, multiple targets at once, or you can get some crits there between whatever target you're hitting, multiple heroes as well at the same time. Like I said, I don't know the exact build or skill build quite yet. There's still room to explore here, but it's so much fun, guys. I definitely recommend trying it if you're feeling a little brave. I can't say you won't maybe get reported in some games. I'll be there, but maybe that's part of the fun, the risk. So far 5-1. Like I said, I'll be playing it more on my streams if you want to see it. And I hope you guys have as much fun with it as I am. I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.